Creating impactful papers is very important if you see from the point of view of budding researchers. Without compromising the quality, then researchers can keep some key points in mind while writing, impactful papers. For example, they have to be very concise in terms of their academic and research related writings. For example, in terms of structure, they must clearly define the structure about their research papers, and also in terms of they have to be very organized, like their sections for different research papers must be very aligned, and there should not be any kind of jerk or mismatch, I would say, in terms of various organizations. And also if I talk about accessibility, then they must ensure that their research is accessible to a wide range of audience, because ultimately research has to be cited, and if it is not accessible to a wider range of audience, then your research may be simply not cited in a high number. And also, while writing the research papers, one must be sure about the nature of the audience, that for what kind of audience we are writing the research papers, and their skills and their expertise. Accordingly, if you understand your audience, that will help you to navigate through your writing. And one last and important point in this, I would say, in terms of like editing and revising your research multiple times, because that will minimize the issue of silly mistakes that researchers usually do, because they don't go through their research paper multiple times, and when the same paper is submitted to a very high quality journal, that reflects the non-seriousness on the part of the researchers. Literature review is very important. Like you have to do a comprehensive review before generating your research ideas, because that shows if you have done a rigorous review in your research, that you have the knowledge of the state of the art development in your area. Because sometimes what happens, we simply focus on methodology and analysis part, and we miss out on the background literature completely. Or even if it is there, then audience is not getting full idea what is the state of the art research or what has been done previously, and whether you are extending the research from the point where it has been left by some of the researchers. So that way comprehensive literature review is also very important while we write the research. And also identifying the good outlet in terms of research, where and looking at the idea that you have generated in your research papers. Accordingly, you must identify the research paper. It should not be like you are sending your research paper to a journal which is completely unknown to your area of research, because simply, as we see, many times research papers are desk rejected, and they just reviewers or editors are making comment like it is beyond the scope. So one must be very sure where we are sending our research. So ideally it should be in a journal where papers related to your research, papers related to your research subjects are being published frequently, so that you can minimize the chance of rejection just based on the simple out of the scope. So some of these strategies can work to the benefit of the researchers, and if you take into account these things, these may help you in creating an impactful research.